So on paper, the Chicago Sky are out of their minds to let Chennedy Carter walk. But that's exactly what's happening, because they could have extended a qualifying offer for her, given, her free agent status. Instead, they declined to, which makes her an unrestricted free agent, which is them telling you they don't want her back.
On paper, it seems absolutely wild that the Chicago Sky would let Chennedy Carter go. After all, they could have easily extended a qualifying offer to keep her, but instead, they let her become an unrestricted free agent. That's essentially their way of saying they don't want her back. Breaking news for basketball fans: the Chicago Sky seem to be unraveling right before our eyes. They've just cut their leading scorer, Chennedy Carter. But don't jump to conclusions just yet. This isn't a standard roster move. Carter isn't just walking away quietly, she's making waves as she leaves, and it's causing a stir.
Considering their lack of scoring and shot creation and what she did last year and her talent, for them to just not want her back and to let her walk is a big statement. It's a big statement.
The timing of this decision is especially puzzling when you consider the team's lack of scoring and playmaking. Last season, Carter was a major contributor, so for the Sky to just let her go without even attempting to keep her is a huge statement. As they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And in Chicago, it looks like a full-blown blaze is brewing. Recently, Carter has been dropping some cryptic tweets, even calling out other players like Angel Reese. When your star player is publicly taking shots at teammates, something big is going on behind the scenes.
Chennedy Carter future in the W is not looking good, bro. I think it might just be over for her. Now, with all that being said, I know everybody want to know exactly what transpired online last night, and that's what we finna get into right now. Let's pull up this series of tweets, because the comment section of these tweets is unforgivable.
The bigger question is, why is Carter causing such a stir, and what does it mean for the future of the Chicago Sky? Stick around, because the drama is just getting started. Right now, Chennedy Carter's future in the WNBA is looking uncertain. Her time with the Sky might be over, and it's a pretty big deal for a player who once averaged 17.5 points per game last season. It's hard to ignore the fact that the Sky are the latest team to part ways with such a talented player. There's no denying her skill set, but this move is leaving a lot of people scratching their heads.
So that's a reputation thing around the league. That's not out of nowhere. That's not nothing. And I think it says a lot that the Sky are the latest team to be willing to part with Chennedy Carter, especially considered how talented she is, because she's got skills. There's no questioning that.
Let's break this down. Carter wasn't just a good player, she was a standout on the court. So, what exactly happened in Chicago? The answer might be more complicated than we think, but one thing is clear: this situation has major implications for both Carter's career and the future of the Sky.
The GM put out a statement basically saying, the fits are going to be different and all that, but all the reporting and the common sense tells you that there were issues behind the scenes with Chennedy Carter, and this is not the first time. That has been the story of her WNBA career. And if someone else is going to give her a chance, it may be her last chance in the WNBA. But so it's almost shocking that it would happen from just a basketball personnel standpoint. But it's not surprising to see Chennedy Carter have a Sky goodbye, given everything else we know.
Chennedy Carter was on fire last season. We're talking about a player who dominated the court, leading the Sky in scoring, and then went on to shine in China during the offseason, averaging nearly 30 points per game. That's not just talent, that's star-level potential. But now, the Chicago Sky have decided to let her go. Why would they release a player like Carter, especially after such a standout year? Well, the team's GM, Jeff Palia, hinted at some bigger issues. He talked about how Carter's fit on the team was changing, which in sports speak usually means there's a deeper problem. This isn't the first time that a troubled relationship with Carter has come up in the WNBA.
Chennedy had an incredible season for us last year, says the GM. She's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
If another team gives her a chance, it may be Carter's last shot in the league. The decision is shocking from a purely basketball perspective, but considering all the drama we've heard, it's not entirely surprising. So, why on earth would the Sky let go of such a talented player? Well, buckle up, because here's where things get messy. Palia explained that the changes to the roster and staff made Carter's fit with the team no longer viable. He made it clear they wanted to give her a fresh start as a free agent. Translation? They didn't want her back.
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Chennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
The Sky's fall from grace has been swift. Just a few years ago, they were on top of the world, winning the WNBA championship. Now, they're struggling with a 13-27 record, which is 5 games worse than the year before. What happened? Rumor has it that the locker room has been full of drama. Carter's behavior reportedly caused tension, and former coach Teresa Weatherspoon didn't exactly rush to handle the situation. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck unfold. Since their championship in 2021, the Sky have been a mess. They lost several key figures, including head coach and GM James Wade, who left for the NBA, and players like Candace Parker, Courtney Vandersloot, and Allie Quigley. Now, it's Carter's turn to exit stage left.
The Chicago Sky franchise has been an absolute dumpster fire since winning the WNBA championship in 2021. Let's go through some of the names that have left. James Wade, who was the coach and GM, left in the middle of the season last year to go to the NBA. Candace Parker, Emma Messman, Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley, Clea Copper was traded, Azura Stevens. And then this year, after drafting Cardozo and Reese, they were competing for a playoff spot and traded Marina Mabrey, their veteran, before the Olympic break.
But wait, there's more. The Carter saga is just the tip of the iceberg. We haven't even touched on the Twitter drama yet. Carter's been throwing some serious shade, and guess who's caught in her crosshairs? None other than Angel Reese. We're about to dive into that juicy mess in just a bit. Now let's rewind and talk about the real turning point for the Sky. Teresa Weatherspoon, the WNBA legend turned coach, was supposed to lead this team back to greatness. But after a dismal 13-27 season, the Sky decided it was time to part ways with her. In the words of Vince McMahon, "You're fired."
After a 13-27 season, the Chicago Sky have decided to fire Teresa Weatherspoon. In the words of Vince McMahon, "You're fired."
Sometimes, meeting your heroes is a letdown, and that's exactly what happened here. Weatherspoon didn't turn the Sky into a championship contender. Instead, she turned the locker room into a drama-filled mess straight out of Mean Girls. And who was her favorite? Well, none other than Chennedy Carter.
According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord.
According to league sources, one of the main reasons the Chicago Sky imploded this season was a toxic locker room culture. The problem? A coach who played favorites and focused too much on the needs of just a few players. When a coach starts playing favorites, it's like opening a can of worms, and things go south fast. Teresa Weatherspoon, the former head coach, made it clear that Angel Reese was her golden child. Reese got all the minutes, all the plays, and all the love. It was like watching a proud mom at a middle school talent show, except this was supposed to be professional basketball. Meanwhile, the rest of the team seemed to disappear. Players sat on the bench, watching Reese rack up stats even when the team was down by 20 points. No wonder the chemistry in the locker room fell apart faster than a missed layup.
I can't help but wonder, is that what happened here? Is Angel Reese and the way she wants to play, and I don't know if you've ever noticed her social media posts, but she's very me, always. Me. Well, you may have a player that has decided that she's had enough of that.
So, was the real problem with the team's performance Angel Reese's playing style? If you've ever seen her social media posts, you know she has a me mentality, always focused on herself. It seems like some players might have had enough of that kind of attitude, especially when it's affecting team dynamics. Weatherspoon's coaching style wasn't just irritating, it was downright toxic. Anonymous sources leaked that players were fed up with the atmosphere in the locker room. It was all about individual glory, not team success. Who cares about winning when you can grab Instagram-worthy highlights, right?
The development of Camila Cardoso is an underrated aspect of everything because she didn't really shine last year because Angel got so much love, and that's not a diss. It's just, Cardoso was drafted higher and wasn't there at the beginning of the season, and they're not a perfect mix. So how they balance that, how the new coach balances that, is going to be interesting to see.
And let's not forget Camila Cardoso, the rookie who should have been the Sky's next big star. Unfortunately, Weatherspoon couldn't figure out how to use her properly. Cardoso didn't shine as much as she should have last year, and it's clear that the attention was largely focused on Reese. Not a knock on Reese's talent, but the imbalance was obvious. Cardoso, who was drafted higher, wasn't getting the opportunities she deserved. The new coach will have to figure out how to balance things better if the team hopes to improve. You'd think a Hall of Famer like Weatherspoon would know better, but her playbook seemed to revolve around one thing: get the ball to Angel Reese and hope for the best in crunch time. Unfortunately, late-game situations turned into disasters more often than not.
This is the very definition of stat padding. You are down by 22 points, and you've got the Fever's bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, playing against bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, starter, just so that she can get her double-double.
Well, for a rookie this season, he's going for a triple A. 63 double-doubles on the season. Another rookie record for Reese.
It's clear the locker room lost respect for Weatherspoon, especially when her coaching led to stat padding rather than team victories. There's a moment when you're down by 22 points, and instead of making strategic moves, you've got players from the bench running up the score just so Reese can hit her double-double. This kind of behavior only adds to the dysfunction. By the time Weatherspoon was fired, the damage was done. The Chicago Sky went from potential contenders to a cautionary tale for what happens when internal issues get out of control. So what does Chennedy Carter think about all this?
Is Chennedy Carter Instagram account right here, guys, and I'm here to tell you, bruh, she's been going on a little rant all night long. Now, this is the tweet right here that kind of sparked everything. She stated, I think the ability to consistently make layups just put anyone in a different tier. So important to score easy. Now, a lot of people is insinuating that this tweet is towards Angel Reese.
Well, Carter's been sharing her thoughts on social media, and she's not holding back. A recent tweet from Carter got the ball rolling. She wrote, I think the ability to consistently make layups just puts anyone in a different tier. So important to score easy. Now, it might seem innocent enough, but here's the twist: a lot of people quickly connected the dots and assumed the tweet was aimed at Angel Reese. Here's the thing about pro athletes: they love to spill the tea on social media. And when it comes to the Chicago Sky, Chennedy Carter just turned up the heat. Those vague tweets that make you go, wait, what's really going on here? Well, Carter's tweet about layups had everyone buzzing. Why? Because Reese had been struggling with her finishing, especially on easy shots.
Carter tweeted about the importance of making layups. Innocent enough, right? Wrong. See, Angel Reese had been struggling with layups all season. We're talking a success rate of 42.4%, the worst in the WNBA. That's not just bad. That's, maybe you should try underhand, bad. Out of 321 attempts, Reese only managed to sink 136. Ouch.
Just like I've been telling y'all, bro. She has been making it her business to sneak this Angel Reese every chance she get. Now, since she's been cut, it look even more obvious. Somebody said, LOL, you ate down. Now, this tweet right here just popped up here. Somebody tried to come into the defense of her because we know she's a free agent. So, like, if you throw teammates, ex-teammates under the bus, that's going to hurt you even more.